Hi everyone, Manhood here. Today I would like to provide some information about celibacy. A choice we might all consider, given the state of relationships worldwide. Celibacy. What is it? Celibacy is a voluntary vow or a promise to oneself of sexual abstinence. In some cases, it can also be a promise to remain unmarried. Celibacy looks different to each person, so there's no single way to practice it. Some people abstain from all sexual activity, including penetrative and non-penetrative sex, while others engage in things like intercourse. Although celibacy is usually associated with religion, there are a number of reasons why someone might choose to remain celibate. Whether you're a curious observer or considering a lifestyle change, here are a few answers to the most commonly asked questions. Is celibacy the same thing as abstinence? Although many people use celibacy and abstinence interchangeably, there is a difference between the two terms. Abstinence usually refers to the decision not to have penetrative sex. It's typically limited to a specific period of time, such as until marriage. Celibacy is a vow to remain abstinent over an extended period of time. For some, this may mean their entire life. With both celibacy and abstinence, it's ultimately up to the individual to determine what is and isn't included in their lifestyle and what sexual activities they are or aren't comfortable limiting. In some cases, these limitations may be predetermined by your religious or cultural practices. Where does chastity come in? Chastity and celibacy are usually intertwined, especially if you're taking a vow of celibacy for religious or cultural reasons. People who are chaste make the conscious decision to control their thoughts, as well as their actions, as a way to signal purity or virtue. In some religions, this extends only until marriage. Oftentimes, religious leaders promise lifetime chastity as a way to honor their commitment to their faith. Can you engage in any physical activity at all? It all depends on how you, or the beliefs you subscribe to, define celibacy. Masturbation. For some, masturbation is a way to be sexually satisfied without breaking the commitment to celibacy. It can also be a way to get to know your body on a deeper level without being sexually active with others. With a partner, on the other hand, some people who choose to be celibate still engage in some physical activities with others. This involves non-penetrative sexual activity. Some define this as anything that doesn't include penis and vagina penetration. Others define it as anything that doesn't include penetration of any kind. Is celibacy always motivated by religion? Some people are born into or adopt belief systems that encourage or require celibacy as a part of their practice. But that doesn't mean everyone who's celibate is religious. There are many other reasons to adopt the practice. Why do people choose to be celibate? Few people have one solitary reason for being celibate. There are often several factors at play, even within organized belief systems. If religion is a factor, some people practice celibacy as a way to feel closer to their religion or commit to a higher power that they believe in. Celibacy can also be a way to develop deeper relationships without settling down and committing all of their love to one individual. This is why some people expand their definition to include refraining from marriage. If religion isn't a factor, for some, celibacy is a way to feel more empowered. It can help move their attention away from relationships or sex and turn it inward, allowing them to focus on personal development. For others, it could be a medical decision following a diagnosis of a sexually transmitted disease, STD, as a way to prevent transmission. For those who experience compulsive sexual behavior or sex addiction, celibacy could offer a way to recover. It's important to note that some people might confuse celibacy with asexuality, a lack of sexual attraction. Celibacy is a voluntary choice, whereas asexuality is a sexual orientation. Are there any benefits to being celibate? Potential benefits to becoming celibate include: overall, there's very little risk of contracting an STI or STD. There's still some degree of risk for those who practice forms of intercourse that include genital contact. There's little to no risk of unintended pregnancy. It may reduce the amount of money spent on contraception, such as condoms. Other forms of birth control, such as the pill or hormonal IUD, may still be needed for other medical reasons. It may provide space for you to get to know your partner outside of sexual activity. It may help you further understand the difference between physical and emotional attraction. It may free up more time to focus on your career, friendships, or family. Are there any downsides to being celibate? Potential drawbacks to becoming celibate include: it may be challenging to engage in romantic relationships, even if your partner is also celibate, if it introduces physical desire or pressure to engage in sexual activity. Some might feel as though they're missing out on key life experiences, such as marriage or children, by eliminating or limiting sexual activities. Some might feel as though others judge their decision, which can lead to feelings of isolation. What goes into the decision to be celibate? Because celibacy is a major life decision, those who choose to be celibate tend to spend careful time and consideration before jumping right in. Do your research. As mentioned, the definition of celibacy can vary a lot, so it's important to do your research. Thorough, thoughtful education will help you decide what's best for your personal version of celibacy. Make the commitment. Whether you make a vow of celibacy to a religious organization or to yourself, this promise is something that takes practice and commitment to carry out. Define your boundaries. As you begin to understand what your commitment to celibacy means for you, you can start outlining your boundaries. You may find that these boundaries evolve as you move through your practice. How do you practice celibacy while dating or in marriage? Some people who practice celibacy abstain from marriage entirely. Others continue to date or marry while limiting sexual activity. This can present its own challenges. Communicate your needs and expectations. As with any relationship, it's important for you and your partners to understand each other's wants, needs, and expectations. Even if all partners are celibate, it can be difficult to find a comfortable level of intimacy, so this requires honest conversation. Explore other ways to be intimate. Sex isn't the only way to be intimate. It can be helpful for you and your partner to engage in other forms of intimacy to find what works best for them, whether that's through physical touch, like hugging or cuddling, or deep conversation. Seek out or engage with a support system. Sometimes, it's necessary to find an outside support system that can help you work through feelings and provide unbiased advice. This could include friends, family, or a counselor. Where can you learn more? There are plenty of books that offer further explanation about religious and non-religious celibacy. Thanks for listening. This is Manhood, signing off. Peace.